The Silk Road is one of the most famous transportation routes in the world. For centuries, it played the key role in promoting commercial and cultural exchanges between China and the countries of Asia, Europe, and Africa. Of the goods that were traded along it, Chinese silk was particularly popular in the West because of its natural texture and luster. It even became a status symbol among the rich and famous in Europe. In Chinese history, the most luxurious clothes ever produced were the emperor's dragon robes. The material from which they were made had to be very special in order to emphasize the emperor's power and status. Ordinary silk was not good enough. For the emperor, the fabric had to be produced using a technique known as kosu. The Capitol Museum houses a dragon robe that belonged to the 18th century Emperor Changlong. It's made exclusively of golden silk with various kosu decorations, including colored dragons, bats, waves, and mountains. All these complex designs were woven by hand. The place where the dragon robes were made was Suzhou. The city of Suzhou lies on the Yangtze River Delta. It's a beautiful city that has over the centuries been home to many talented craftsmen. It's particularly well known for its weaving, exemplified by its embroidery and kosu weaving. Elegant silk fabrics are easily found in Suzhou. They're so vivid that it's extremely difficult for laymen to tell the difference between the ordinary embroidery of kuso and weaving. But there's one essential difference. In embroidery, needles are used to thread the beautiful designs into the fabrics. Kuso weaving, on the other hand, uses a special skill to produce the designs at the same time as the fabrics are woven. As a result, the fabrics have a smooth and flat texture, and the designs appear on both sides.
做一块刻石来都很难，它不像刺绣，刺绣呢是用块布用针一针一针绣的。我这个刻石呢，用小手指、小拇指一手一手穿出来的。刻石人家也仿造不了，因为这个东西一般人家做起来很少，很高贵的东西。
Embroidery can also produce designs on both sides of the fabric. However, it leaves the fabric with an uneven texture, and clothes made from it tend to look lumpy. Kosu fabrics, by contrast, are flat and have an even texture. Kosu fabrics, when held up to the sun, can be seen to contain tiny holes, almost like knife carvings. This is the origin of the name Kuso, which means cut silk. Kuso weaving is both time and labor-intensive. Designs tend to be almost impossible to imitate. This is one reason why it was chosen for dragon robes, since the individual designs were thought to highlight each emperor's unique qualities. When the southern Song dynasty moved its capital to Lin'an, today's Hangzhou, in the 12th century, the country's political, economic, and cultural center was moved southward. The skilled craftsmen also made the move, and thus the center of Kuso weaving shifted to Suzhou. However, when the imperial court's power and influence began to decline, the Kuso weavers, in order to survive, were forced to abandon their craft. In the Ming dynasty, however, with the economy prospering, Kuso fabric was once again in favor at court. In the 16th century, Emperor Wanli had a set of dragon robes made from Kuso fabric. From then on, dragon robes were always made by Kuso craftsmen in Suzhou. In the Qing dynasty, Kuso fabric was reserved for use at court. Ordinary citizens were forbidden to wear it. As a result, Kuso weaving declined by the late Qing dynasty and even stopped altogether. It would be the 1950s before Kuso weaving was flourishing in Suzhou again. The Capitol Museum wanted to form a team of Beijing experts to repair the dragon robes in its collection. But nobody could be found because all the Kuso experts were in Suzhou. Eventually, Wang Jinshan, a Suzhou Kuso expert, agreed to take on the task. However, after 200 years of natural wear and tear, the dragon robes were in a dreadful state. For one thing, the original color and luster had been lost.
我接到这个任务以后呢，之前呢先去调查一下，看了今年龙袍的铺身的情况，有的地方真是很严重，要断了几十根筋的。